Impedance parameters are commonly used in the design of a filter. Impedance parameter is also called Z parameter. The two-port network for impedance parameter may be voltage driven or current driven as shown on this slide. Also, the unit for the impedance parameter is ohms. Our Z parameter can be calculated from the general formula V1 equals to Z11 high 1 plus Z12 high 2 and V2 equals to Z21 high 1 plus Z22 high 2. In this equation, our V1 and V2 are the dependent variable, while I1 and I2, that is the current at the input and the current at the output, are the independent variable, and the matrix can be written as shown on this slide. From the general formula, V1 equals to Z11 I1 plus Z12 I2 and V2 equals to Z21 I1 plus Z22 I2, we can calculate our impedance parameters, that is our Z11, Z12, Z21 and Z22, by setting our I1 or I2 to be equals to 0. And whenever the current is equals to 0, that is when we have an open circuit condition. So in our V1 equals to Z11 I1 plus Z12 I2, we can calculate our Z11 by setting our I2 to be equals to 0, and also calculate our Z12 by setting our I1 to be equals to 0. And the same thing goes for our V2 equals to I1 Z11 Z21 plus Z22 I2. We calculate either Z21 by setting our I2 to be equals to 0, or setting our I1 to be equals to 0 for calculating Z22. And when our Z11 equals to Z12, the two-port network will be symmetrical. That is, what we have at the output loop is very similar to what we have at the input side. Also, when our Z12 equals to Z21, then the two-port network is linear and has no dependent source, and the two-port network will be reciprocal. From the general formula, V1 equals to Z11 I1 plus Z12 I2 and V2 equals to Z21 I1 plus Z22 I2, we get our Z11 to be equals to V1 over I1 when we set our I2 to be equals to 0, and that is called open circuit input impedance. Our Z12 also will get it to be equals to V1 over I2 when our I1 is equals to 0, and that is also called open circuit transfer impedance from port 1 to 2. And our Z21 will be V2 over I1 when our I2 is equals to 0, and that is called open circuit transfer impedance from port 2 to 1. And our Z22 will be V2 over I2 when our I1 equals to 0, and that is called open circuit output impedance.